Welcome to the Jared Springer Show, and here is your host, Jared Springer.
Jared, whoa!
Today we are interviewing different people involved with the rescue of a group of boys who was stranded on an island. Our first guest is the naval captain, Evan Griffin, that was in charge of rescuing these boys. Please welcome Evan Griffin.
Thank you. Well, I was driving my warship and then I noticed that the island over to my left was like burning everywhere. And then on like the corner of my eye, I see like what I believe to be people running on the island with spears and stuff. So I drove my boat on the island, and there comes out this boy saying, "Help, they're going to kill me." I asked the boy his name. He says, "Ralph," and I'm like, "Who's the leader of all these groups? Are there any parents?" And he's like, "No, there are no parents. I'm the leader of the group." I'm like, "Well, like Coral Island, I guess. Come aboard." And so that's what happened.
Now you know all these facts, but how long were these poor boys stranded on the island?
We speculated that the boys were on an island for less than a month, seeing as they did not keep track of time.
I see. Well, we will be back with our next guest, one of the boys who was actually stranded on the island, named Ralph. Thank you for being on the show.
You're welcome.
Now,
Hello, has your plunger ever not worked? Has it ever not gotten all of it down? Have you ever needed to pick it out, then flush the toilet? Well, then you need this brand new plunger invented by the Dr. Walsh Corporation. This plunger will work every time, guaranteed. Look at our customer satisfaction. This plunger will work every time.
welcome back to the Jared Springer Show. Here we have the boy, Ralph, who was stranded on the island for how long he was stranded on the island.
They're everywhere!
Tell us about your experience, Ralph.
They're everywhere!
I see. Well, to explain this young child's traumatic experiences, we will now bring in the world-famous psychologist, Dr. Tim Walsh.
Hello, everyone. They're everywhere!
Good to know. We fear that the boys suffer from a very severe condition that is known as photophobia and anthropophobia. The children has been severely scared by his experience on this island. Ralph has been having a very hard time adjusting back to civilization. Okay? And then I have had a meeting with a bunch of the boys, and they're having problems adjusting, just like young Ralph here. Thanks to the knowledge from me, they'll be alright.
See?
Yep.
Well then,
They're everywhere!
thank you for sharing your knowledge today with us, Dr. Walsh. Now we are going to talk to a juvenile justice expert to talk with us about the deaths of Piggy and Simon, and if there will be any legal action taken. Piggy and Simon were two young boys who were killed while on the island by the other young boys. Please welcome Steve Adams after the commercial.
If you have bad children, call my number. I will help them. 1-800 therapist.
Welcome to the show, Mr. Court. So tell us what legal action will be taken regarding the deaths of Piggy and Simon.
Well, we'll see what the situation was at the time of both their deaths, okay? But to our knowledge, Simon was not killed, just merely beaten, okay? We will have to put most of the boys in the psychiatric ward, where they will go under intense study and hopefully they will make a full recovery. The death of Piggy will be held blame to Jack, Roger, and the other boys who also pushed the boulder. They will serve a few years in a psychiatric ward too, but will have nothing more as a punishment and will be deemed insane.
Thank you for your professional opinion on the matter, and we'll hope for the best in justice. And now, let's go back to commercials, and later Ralph will be on the show.
Jared Springer is sponsored by Smart Car. Drive smart.
Welcome back to the Jared Springer Show. I would like to introduce our next guest, Ralph, from the island. So Ralph, tell us a little about your experiences on the island and how you were rescued.
It was awful. They wouldn't keep the fire watched. It went out, and we would have been rescued, but they couldn't see this fire because it was out, and they wouldn't watch it.
But you were finally rescued, so how is it that you were rescued without the fire?
They lit the whole island on fire trying to get rid of me. But since they created such a big smoke cloud, they saw the smoke and we were rescued.
I see. Well, good to know that you were finally rescued, Ralph. Is there anything else you would like to say?
They're everywhere.
I see. Well, that's all the time we have. Thank you for everyone coming and talking with us today. Welcome back to the Jared Springer Show. Here we have one of the boys who is stranded on the island. So, welcome to the show, Mr. Coy. Being the legal juvenile, welcome to the show, Mr. Coy. Welcome back to the Jared Springer Show. We now introduce Ralph.
Oh, is that my cue?
Yeah, that's your cue.
Your children act like this? Just call my number 1-800-555-1838.
Connor, it's the vapist. 1-800 therapist.